me, my perception changed in that I recognize that, they say success is not a destination, it's a journey. And hearing from all the entrepreneurs on the videos, it became very clear that in our minds they're successful, but they're on an ongoing journey. It's not over, and a lot of their minds, it's just begun. Some of those folks have been doing it for 15 years. They're like, oh no, I'm still learning all the time, continuing my education. Some of them talked about reading everything they can get their hands on. Still, at multiple millions of dollars behind their names and bank accounts, they're still collecting people as assets, to be in their, in their circle of influence and whatnot, so they can learn from them. So that's what changed for me, is I recognize that, getting the business started and getting it to be profitable is really only the tip of the iceberg.
I walked in and thought, this is going to be a cheerleading session, just kind of giving little hints along the way of how to, be happy. And every single class I learned something from the videos, from the Ice House book, but also about myself. And the videos, there were a couple videos that had mantras, that came out, and I've written them down, and it really, really has changed me. I developed my own mantra, and how to basically just keep motivated in everyday operations and to get a business.
If you just put in the effort, you can do it. You can at least start, and it's starting. That's the hardest part.
The classroom experience was nice. It was intimate. It was an intimate setting. Lots of discussion. I personally gravitate to discussion classes because that's how I learn. It was not lecture. Ace was very knowledgeable and had a lot of experiences that he could add to the class, and don't just tell me what I should do, but explain it, give me some life, how does that fit in your everyday life? And then the people that he brought in to talk to us were very knowledgeable about being an entrepreneur, and it was very basic, I thought about even having my 17-year-old son take the class, because it's just that it's simple, and it's not that it's simplistic, but it's easy enough for a child that a teenager could understand.
Taking the Ice House course, especially with having Ace as an instructor, was really it was a nice experience for me. We had a chance to do things that were different. We even played a game of Monopoly and used it in terms of entrepreneurial type setting, buying properties, things like that. We made a lot of fun of it. Got a chance to meet great people, to hear how other people who were planning to be entrepreneurs thought. Got a chance to find out that there was a lot more to becoming an entrepreneur, more things you had to think about.
I like the canvas. I will definitely use that, if not for entrepreneur things, just other things that I'm doing, like if I want to, make a deck, I'll go through that, and just, using it for everyday stuff. I like doing the quotes because I found a lot of things that I went back on, and I thought, wow, I could use this in everyday life as well. The teacher just made us pull quotes out of the book and asked how they reflected, us personally, and, kind of explained how they affect us.
Reading about Uncle Cleve, he, to me, redefined wealth. In the sense that, you look at Gates, and that's impressive. You look at Spielberg, and that's impressive. You look at Uncle Cleve, and he was very small town. He went up against some serious odds. He held himself to a very high standard, and he expected that of his nephew, Cliff. And the novel, again, the novel had, one-liners, had little excerpts from from Gary, who was also kind of an editor on the side, and did some analysis. But reading through the different things that Uncle Cleve would talk about, or what Cliff learned from his uncle, it was very educational on how somebody from 60, 70 years ago, in a very segregated time, was able to succeed and really live up to his name, and people from all walks of life respected him for who he was and what he did.
In the vein of Uncle Cleve and Cliff, I mean, all bets are off. Where are your excuses when you see what he had to deal with, in what we refer to as cotton country, in the 50s and the 60s and whatnot? We have no excuses. It's really all about either you're going to do it or you're not. It doesn't go any further than, do you want it bad enough to do it, or don't you?
Have the class. I liked it. I liked that it was in the first person, and then it was summarized. So if you didn't get what he was originally saying, someone else's voice repeated it in a different way. So it was very well thought out. Anybody do it, even if they think they're going to be an employee for their entire lives, because it changes the way you think, and maybe you'll understand better what the business owner is going through, if nothing else.
I would recommend it, and not just to people who want to be entrepreneurs, but anyone who is questioning, anything in life. It doesn't just help you as an entrepreneur, it helps you in many other ways. Besides just doing a business, it helps you, if you want to start a family, or if you want to do something otherwise.
Absolutely recommend this class to other people that are thinking about going into entrepreneurship or owning their own business, and even if they weren't, because it gives you a chance to see what life would be if you were working for yourself. I feel that if you're willing to work hard for someone else, you should at least think about working for yourself at some point. Would you work, if it took you 2 or 3 years to work hard for yourself, would you make that sacrifice to have something you can call your own, opposed to going to work for someone else to build their dreams? So it's about dream building to me, and I would definitely recommend it to someone else.
I would recommend it because I am, for myself, a procrastinator. If I can put it off, I will put it off. I've got a list of things that I want to do by the end of the year, and I think I started this in February. So the class has kind of, each week different highlights, different things that we would focus on, and it has helped me become more organized. It has helped me become more, the funny thing is, become more focused, and yet I have so many ideas, and I'm able to focus these ideas and say, I can do this, and here's a timeline. I can do this, and here's a timeline. So even if you're not thinking, I'm going to start the next big business, it's great for personal enrichment. It's great for meeting people and for learning about yourself and others.
Well, definitely. I would definitely recommend. I actually have recommended the class to several of my, I want to say colleagues or people I go to school with. We I go to University of Akron. I'm in the nursing program, and I've recommended it to people that I talk to there because, like myself, we do nursing. We like it. You know, that's something that we want to do. But of course, ultimately, we would like to do something for ourselves. You know, we know in the future we're going to work very, very hard helping other people. But if we could do that for ourselves, that would be phenomenal.
Definitely, because, you know, if for no other reason, I would tell people if you're not going to consider, you know, taking the course, at least read the book. Because there's wisdom in there for everybody. You know, just finding out, you know, what Cliff had to go through after having known Uncle Cleve. You know, and that's the thing I tell my son all the time is, you know, your knowledge is cool and all that, but it's the application that really gets you. You know what I'm saying? You can know all kinds of stuff. You know, I can know how to start a business, but if I don't actually step out and start one, you know, it's wasted knowledge. So, you know, I feel that that's definitely, you know, something that really needs to be addressed in most people's lives. It's just to get out there and do it. And the others have said in their testimonials, because that's how it stands, testimonials, is that it does give you confidence. You know, you recognize, well, if they can do it with those different hardships or those sets of constraints, why can't I?